Have you ever noticed how some numbers feel bigger than others? Not because they're mathematically different, but because they change the way you think. For most people, the first $100 feels exciting. The first $1,000 feels like progress. But the first $10,000, that number does something strange to your brain. Because the moment you see 5 figures sitting in your account, money stops feeling like
People
something you
believe
spend and starts
$10,000 will
feeling
solve
like something you
everything.
can keep. And that mental shift changes everything. Most people believe that reaching $10,000 will solve their money problems. They imagine feeling secure, relaxed, maybe even wealthy. After all, $10,000 sounds like a lot of money, but when people finally get there, something unexpected happens. Instead of feeling rich, they start seeing how expensive life really is. A car repair can take a huge chunk out of it. A medical bill can wipe out months of progress. One emergency suddenly doesn't seem so small anymore. And for the first time, many people realize that wealth isn't about having money, it's about keeping money. Think about it this way. Imagine you've spent your whole life carrying buckets of water from a river. Every dollar you've earned has been another bucket. But once you reach $10,000, you start asking a different question. What if I could build a water tank instead? That's when your focus shifts from earning to storing, and that shift is incredibly powerful. Before $10,000, most people think about purchases. After $10,000, they start thinking about consequences. A new phone doesn't just cost $1,000 anymore. It costs 10% of what you've built. A weekend shopping spree isn't just a fun reward, it's a visible step backward. The same purchase suddenly feels different, because your brain now has something to protect. Psychologists call this loss aversion. People feel the pain of losing money more strongly than the pleasure of gaining it. When your account balance is low, there's not much to lose. But once you've built $10,000, every dollar feels connected to the effort it took to get there, and that changes behavior. People become more patient, more selective, more intentional. But something else happens too. Become trapped. Because they become so focused on protecting their money that they're afraid to use it. They stop taking opportunities. They avoid investing. They fear making mistakes. It's like someone building a beautiful ship and then refusing to sail it because they're afraid of scratches. Money is meant to be a tool, not a trophy. And this is where many people misunderstand wealth. The goal isn't to collect money forever. The goal is to put money to work. Imagine 2 people with $10,000. The first person leaves it untouched for years because they're afraid of losing it. The second person learns how money grows. They invest carefully. They make mistakes. They learn. Over time, their money starts generating more money. Years later, the difference between them becomes enormous. Not because one earned more, but because one understood a simple truth. Money grows when it moves. The first $10,000 is important because it teaches you this lesson. It gives you enough savings to finally see money differently. Before that point, every dollar feels temporary. After that point, money begins to feel like an asset, like something that can create options, more freedom, more security, more opportunities. And perhaps the biggest psychological change is this. For the first time, you start believing that building wealth is actually possible. Not for celebrities, not for millionaires, not for people born into money, for you. Because once you've saved $10,000, you have proof. Proof that you can delay gratification. Proof that you can build something over time. Proof that your financial future isn't determined by where you started. It's determined by what you consistently do. That's why the first $10,000 is often harder than the next $10,000. The first one requires changing habits, changing beliefs, changing identity. After that, the process becomes clearer. The real value of your first $10,000 isn't the money itself. It's the person you become while earning it. Because the biggest transformation doesn't happen in your bank account. It happens in your mind. And once your mind changes, your financial future